Hi, I'm Tim Barry. I'm going to start by apologizing for the talking head, but I don't want to be anonymous. I'm talking about Business Plan Pro, and I am apologizing too for looking down here occasionally. I'm using the keyboard, obviously. This is not a fancy studio. This is my office, and I'm using some neat technology to get this going, basically so I have a chance to talk to you about Business Plan Pro. And I'm going to start by talking to you about me quickly. I'm the main author. Not that we don't have a programming team, 6 people full-time, but me as the main author. I have a Stanford MBA degree. I teach entrepreneurship generally once a year, spring term, at the University of Oregon, which is just a few blocks from our location. I like teaching. I deal with the real world of students when I'm teaching. And I'm also the author of books published by Harcourt Brace, by McGraw-Hill, books about business planning. So I say that to validate myself a little bit when I talk to you about the financials in Business Plan Pro. Where it's important, I think, to start out is that I am not trying to say that, oh, this is the only way to do it or the right way to do it. I think we do fight the fact that a lot of people who have financial knowledge and spreadsheet knowledge have developed their own way to do it. I did that too, I understand. I had business planning for 20-some years as my way of making a living before I got involved in the productization, which is now Business Plan Pro. So there's a million ways to do it, and nobody's saying that your way of doing it is wrong. What I'm saying, though, is that our way of doing it in Business Plan Pro, which is why I mentioned my background, is also fundamentally correct. I know accounting. I know accrual accounting. I understand very, very well that profits aren't cash, and I know why, having to do with inventory, accounts receivable, accounts payable, all the things in the balance sheet that aren't in the income statement are built into the financial model of Business Plan Pro. So a lot of that is there. A lot of experts assume that it isn't because it's software and is it a magic black box. No. What we've done philosophically is maintained a very high level of quality of output, not by being magical black box, but by empowering you, the user, the experts who work with you, the user, empowering you to know what's going on in the model. So we do that in part by years. This is 2006. Business Plan Pro was first published in 1994. We have years of error proofing in this model. We also have years of documenting the model. I'm sorry, with the technology, I get excited. I'm going to lean back here. This help in Business Plan Pro, if you were to print it out, would be 567 or 97 pages. I forget, doesn't matter. Because that help doesn't need to be printed out. It's context sensitive, it's indexed, and it's keyword searchable. And it's not just your help about how to save, how to print, what menu item to choose. It's also help about the business concepts behind the financials. Why is cash different from profits? You need to understand, or at least here I am trying to help you understand, that there's a lot there, and our strategy has been to empower with knowledge rather than to cut it down. And that's been now productized. This is the 10th version of Business Plan Pro. We released new versions in 94, 96, 98, 99, 2001, 2002, etc. Each new version has made it better, and each new version has accumulated more of the philosophy of we don't think the computer should do it for you. We think you should understand why it is as it is. So if you get confused, go to the help. Look for row-by-row help. If you're working with experts or if you are the expert, work together. Optimize your expertise. But go with Business Plan Pro's underlying depth of financials to make sure that what you're getting is real. Now, let me explain a little bit more. Aside from all the different models, let's look at what this is doing, and I'll only be a couple more minutes, so please, talking head notwithstanding, like I say, I didn't want to be anonymous. Let's go through what really happens here in sort of the briefest of introductions. The wizard is critical. Each plan starts with a wizard that sets very important parameters. Are you startup? Are you ongoing? Do you sell on credit, yes or no? Do you keep inventory? How long do you wait to pay your payables? Those things matter. Trust the wizard. Make sure that if you haven't done the wizard, you understand then that you're not really seeing the full thing. We start basically with a sales forecast that's predictable. It's like a big table. Units times price equals sales if you want, or just dollar sales. That's a separate table. Then there's a table for personnel. Options there. That's why I say please go with the wizard, because you can have a simple list of people. You can have headcount per department. There's a lot of different options to how you do personnel. But basically, sales and personnel are going to flow into the expense budget in the profit and loss. So sales less cost of sales, and then you have a place to be typing in estimating expenses. You can add rows, you can delete rows. Of course, you customize to your own model in both sales, well, all of sales, personnel, profit and loss. All of that is customizable. But when we get to cash flow, profits are not cash. So, of course, we're doing this model right for those of you who understand financials. We do go back to the balance sheet. We set up a starting balance based on whether or not you are a startup or an existing company. It's sensitive to the wizard questions on that, so you have a starting balance. And ultimately, the model is about cash flow, and the difference between the income statement and the balance sheet is going to be cash flow, like, for example, receivables or inventory or accounts payable. All those things that make cash flow different from profits are running the Business Plan Pro financials. So I'm not going to, obviously, I like this subject. I could talk more about it, but I'm going to leave you there, and I'm going to keep this as short as I can stand it to ask you to please go in and take a look at this in detail and work with the Business Plan Pro financials, knowing that we're going to give you a solid core. So, thank you.